Hello, my friend. Amidst the relentless rush of daily life, have you ever paused to ask yourself, what will truly endure once our journey comes to an end? The philosopher William James once offered a profound reflection. The great use of life is to spend it on something that will outlast it. William James. Wealth eventually erodes with time. Fame fades into oblivion, and fleeting beauty cannot withstand the steady passage of age. In the end, only the values we sow in the hearts of others possess the strength to take root and flourish long after we are gone. Consider the shade of an ancient tree. The soul who planted the seed may have long returned to dust, yet its lush green canopy continues to shelter generations of weary travelers. Its sweet, abundant fruit still nourishes those who will never know the planter's name. Our lives operate on the very same principle. A person's worth is not measured by the span of their years, but by the lasting impressions they leave on the souls of others. Some lives endure for only a few short decades, yet their legacy continues to guide millions who follow. Conversely, some live long lives sequestered in an oasis of selfishness, only to vanish silently upon their passing, leaving no trace behind. In this fast-paced era, we often yearn for immediate results, expecting sweet fruit just days after sowing the seeds. Yet enduring legacy never yields to the demands of impatience. Such values are like seeds buried deep in the dark soil. For the longest time, the earth remains still and silent, betraying no sign of life. The impatient will quickly surrender, believing their efforts have gone to waste. Yet, beneath that heavy blanket of earth, fragile roots are quietly tunneling deep, anchoring firmly to gather sustenance, until one day, a green shoot reaches for the sunlight, growing into a proud, resilient force that will outlive the one who planted it. Acts of kindness, profound knowledge, deep affection, inspiring pages, and noble works for humanity are all seeds of this very nature. They do not make loud, fleeting noises, but they harbor an enduring vitality that weathers the tides of history. Life holds a gentle, profound paradox. The more we amass for ourselves, the more parched and empty we feel. Yet when we turn our hearts to something greater, we discover a profound sense of peace and true abundance. For the human heart was never designed to be a vessel for hoarding, but a river that flows freely to nourish the world around it. When you lift someone up during a storm, or quietly lay a brick to build up your community, you expand the horizons of your own existence. Our earthly journey will inevitably reach its end. What we carry with us at the end is not what we have desperately grasped, but what we have selflessly given away. So, live like one who plants forests, knowing full well you may never sit beneath their shade. Devote your finite years to cultivating knowledge, sowing seeds of kindness, and igniting inspiration for generations to come. Once we align our life's purpose with the greater good, we face a different modern challenge. How do we navigate countless distractions? Tom Rath once offered a compelling warning: if you spend your life trying to be good at everything, you will never be great at anything. Tom Rath. In a world overflowing with opportunities, the pressure is no longer a scarcity of choices, but the fragmentation of our attention across too many paths. The urge to master every skill and seize every opportunity inadvertently leaves us skimming the surface of everything, only to realize we lack a foundation of depth. Sunlight diffused across the earth offers only a gentle warmth, but when focused through a simple lens, those same rays can kindle a flame to burn through paper, our energy time, and attention are no different. They are precious, finite resources. Spread them too thin, and your power is diluted. But focus them on a single point, and you will achieve breakthroughs that dispersion could never yield. The fear of missing out, FOMO, often prompts us to look elsewhere, constantly shifting goals and chasing passing trends. This is the tragedy of the well digger. After digging just a few meters and finding no water, they abandon the spot for another, believing it to be more promising. In the end, they leave behind a landscape scarred with shallow holes, while the pure, refreshing spring remains untouched deep beneath the earth. Only the one who patiently digs a single well will ever strike the water that sustains a lifetime. Mastery is not a privilege reserved for natural geniuses. It is the result of focused repetition over an extended period. A true artist is rarely remembered for playing 10 instruments mediocrely, but for devoting a lifetime to mastering the nuances of a single instrument. Specialization opens far grander doors of opportunity than a superficial grasp of everything. A tree must anchor its roots deep into the earth for its branches to reach high. Weathering the fiercest winds without falling, depth is always the most secure foundation for breadth. Instead of asking what else you can do, ask yourself in earnest, what is truly worthy of my life's finite and precious time? Legacy does not belong to those who try to do it all, but to those with the courage to decline the trivial and focus on the core purpose of their existence. On this journey of self-discovery and the pursuit of excellence, we often fall into the trap of envy and comparison. In those moments, remember this wisdom: don't blow out other people's candles. It won't make yours shine any brighter. Jaachynma NE Agu. A person's true worth is woven from their own inner light, not from the darkness they try to cast upon others. A candle shines no brighter just because the surrounding room gets darker. It glows only when its own flame is tended and nurtured. Picture a room illuminated by hundreds of candles. When a new flame is kindled, it does not diminish the glow of the candles nearby. Rather, the entire space becomes warmer and brighter. Yet, if someone selfishly extinguishes the flames around them, they will ultimately be left in darkness, where their own solitary ember is easily snuffed out by a passing draft. Envy is merely a mirror reflecting our deepest insecurities. When we lack confidence in our own worth, we view the success of others as a threat to our own. We criticize and diminish others to manufacture a fleeting illusion of triumph. In contrast, those with deep inner strength possess an admirable grace. They genuinely celebrate and support the achievements of those around them. They realize that this world is vast enough for everyone to shine. A true mentor hopes to see their students surpass them. An insightful leader takes pride in the growth of their team. Life is like a wondrous night sky. A star does not need to obscure others to prove its brilliance. It is the collective glow of millions of lights that weaves the beautiful galaxy. When we lift and encourage one another, we help others go further and enrich our own spirit in the process. When you light another's candle, your own flame is not diminished. Instead, the world around you becomes a little warmer and brighter. Alongside envy, another invisible barrier often suffocates our dreams: the fear of judgment. On this matter, Eleanor Roosevelt offered a liberating insight. You wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realized how seldom they do. Eleanor Roosevelt. Most of the mental hurdles that paralyze us are merely projections of our own minds. The people you imagine are scrutinizing your every move are actually consumed by their own worries and insecurities. We have a natural tendency to see ourselves as the center of the universe, magnifying how much others are paying attention to us. We dread a slip of the tongue, an outdated outfit, or a misstep, fearing it will be the subject of gossip for days. In truth, everyone is preoccupied with their own life's narrative. They are busy with their jobs, their struggles, and their personal dynamics. The attention they spare for you is fleeting at best before their thoughts snap back to their own concerns. Imagine someone crossing a narrow bridge. If they constantly look back to see how others are watching them, they will lose their balance and stumble. Only by focusing on the path ahead can their stride remain steady and sure. True freedom is not having everyone approve of you, but needing no external approval to recognize your own worth. Do not spend your life as an actor, performing for spectators who never bought a ticket to your show. When you release that invisible burden, you can finally live a light, confident, and authentic life. Once we unshackle ourselves from the fear of judgment, we must forge our ultimate shield, inner confidence. The author, Barrie Davenport, once noted, "Low self-confidence isn't a life sentence. Self-confidence can be learned, practiced, and mastered, just like any other skill. Once you master it, everything in your life will change for the better." Barrie Davenport. Many still mistake confidence for a natural gift, an exclusive privilege of the fortunate few. We admire those who speak eloquently and act boldly, while confining ourselves within labels like "I am not good enough" or "I lack eloquence." But confidence is not the starting line. It is the destination of a steady journey. Doubt and hesitation are often fed by old memories, a public slip-up, or a harsh criticism from childhood. These wounds linger as an inner whisper, constantly telling us we cannot succeed. We view the world through the lens of fear, giving up before we even try. Recall the first steps of a child. No child stands steady on the very first attempt. They stumble, they fall, and they rise to try again. No one calls them a failure for falling, for it is the natural path of growth. Yet, as adults, we treat ourselves with harsh severity, viewing every mistake as a final verdict on our potential. Confidence functions like a muscle unused. It begins to wither, but each time you venture beyond your comfort zone, speak your mind, or assume a new responsibility, that muscle grows stronger. It may begin with tentative steps and a trembling voice, but with time, the hurdles that once paralyzed you will become second nature. Do not wait for confidence to arrive before you act. Step forward, even while your knees tremble and your heart races with worry. Every attempt, win or lose, lays another stone in the foundation of your self-belief. As you cultivate courage and discipline day by day, confidence will eventually weave itself into your character, revealing horizons you once believed were far beyond your reach. The journey of life is built upon choices. The choice to leave an enduring legacy, to trace a single path deeply, to elevate others so we may all shine together, to free ourselves from the burden of judgment, and to practice courage daily. May these quiet reflections accompany you on your path, lending you strength to walk your chosen road with confidence. Thank you for listening. Wishing you a peaceful and fulfilling day.